a lot of time when you talk about the word abundance or prosperity, the natural tendency is that it's about money or it's about finances or it's about materialistic aspects. And yes, we do need all of that, but there is a different concept and an understanding that I am passionate about sharing, and that is that prosperity and abundance are feminine energies. And I can say this loud and clear because we are all, Miss CFOs here and really wanting to thrive. So I come from a culture and a background. I was born and brought up in India, and my exposure and understanding to, how abundance is created and how prosperity is created was confined to the four walls inside the household, because as women, you're supposed to stay inside the house and you're supposed to do this. So, coming from a culture of a high patriarchy, I was the rebellious person who wanted to say no to everything. So my journey to understanding what abundance is comes from my culture, and I learned it through the women in my life. And I think as women, we need to understand how the inner abundance flourishes. We create the results outwardly in our environment. So having to understand what that inner abundance means for us women inside us, where the heart chakra is, what we can tap into, and then manifest those outwardly in our environment around us is a journey that is beautiful and very sacred. And not everybody knows how to walk that journey. I think today, I can say when I look back my entire life, and I can really confidently say that I was being groomed to be in this position, to be somebody's guide, and to really help you awaken your inner guidance, to tap into the higher powers to manifest when I was 4 years old. So my journey started when I was 4 years old, and I could channel information, I could understand, you had this inner knowingness to know something and never question it. So I have that gift, and I was able to groom that as I grew up. And through different seasons of my life, I would never give up on that divine gift, that if you want to call it. And, most of us have a divine gift, but along the way, something happened. We either lost the trust or the connection to it, or we honed it, so not everybody's in the same space, but somebody can be really intuitive and be gifted, but never cross over the place where you can be in control, or you can really have clarity and courage and confidence. So my journey started when I was 4 years old, but I never took on the responsibility, so there's a huge difference. So my responsibility aspect started 2010, about 10 years ago, and I was kind of taking it more seriously. So I've been doing energy work and coaching and consulting for over 16 years. But 10 years ago, something really drastic happened on one of my trips to India, where I met one of my master teachers in metaphysical sciences, who was traveling from Indonesia, and we were in the same event. And traditional concept of learning energy work requires that when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and the teacher has to accept the student to pass on that traditional knowledge. And that's what happened to me. I mean, I was blown away, found a teacher who accepted me as a student, and that was the beginning of the journey. Now, somebody can show you the path and say, walk this journey, but nobody's going to walk the journey for you. So it has taken me 10 years walking my journey, trying to figure it out, and really understanding what the powers are and how can I really tap into that knowledge and wisdom that I have inside, create the abundance for myself, create the shifts myself, and then pay it forward. That's the whole cycle. You can't keep everything for yourself and say, okay, I'm done, I'm cool, and I can chill. No, the responsibility begins when you have accomplished it, and now you're supposed to share it with other people. So 2011 is when I got laid off from my corporate America job, and I have 3 kids, and my youngest one, who is now 9 years old, was 11 months old. And I said, hallelujah, I can go home and I can build my own empire. People creating these abundant shifts in 3 weeks, 21 days. I'm not doing the work for them. I'm not doing anybody's work. I'm doing my own work, because when I say I'm going to be your guide, I'm going to walk this journey with you, I'm going to show you what to do at every step, I'm doing it with you, but I'm doing it for myself. And I do it over and over and over again, because I'm not perfect and I have a lot of stuff to do still. But what becomes beautiful is that I hold myself accountable and I hold you accountable. So together we can do more. So the results that are created are your results. The results I create for myself are my results. So it's a beautiful process of kind of walking these 21 days to understand what can you really tap into. So every time somebody goes through this 21-day process with me, it's a night and day difference for them. If nothing else, you'll be able to create one result, and that will change your entire understanding and your entire life in 21 days. You want to have a family, you want to have good relationships, you want to have your business or your career. All of that comes together from a place where you can really see things with clarity. So this 21-day process kind of walks you through how to gain that clarity. At least it polishes you, it calms you down, and helps you manifest at least one thing that is an abundant blessing that you can create in 3 weeks, if not in 3 days. From my personal experience, from coaching in corporate environments to teaching at university and college levels to running my own business for so long now, I think the time in the last 20 years is different. Not only men, because I have clients who are both genders, and I talk the same concept to both men and women. And it's very interesting that the times are such that both men and women from a gender perspective are really open to understanding the energetics of money, the energetics of abundance, redefining that for themselves. And my programs like Soul Code and Money Code are very kind of powerful to understanding what your soul really wants, and how do you under stress freak out and what kind of behavior shows up. So I take a very deep dive into all my programs, but I think in the 21-day Awaken Your Inner Abundance, I touch into something really powerful that, if nothing else, gives you a different perspective, more clarity, and builds a confidence inside you that, yes, I can do this. I've had people who saw results in 3 days. I've had people who really were like at the 7th day and they just woke up. Some people, it was 9 days. Some it was like really at the middle. Some it was like on day 20 instead of 21. So, everybody's in their own season of life. But if you commit to walking this journey with me for 3 weeks, there are results here. You will be a totally different person from an abundance perspective, and you will have more clarity around your own life, your own boundaries, and it's not something that will stay in a journal and then you close it and then you toss it behind your desk and you never open up. It's going to create a habit that you will want to continue doing something. You may take a week off and then you'll start again. You will go back because you have created something new. And I think understanding the power of mudras and mantras and meditation. One of the things is that most people don't even know how to meditate. They have an idea that this is how you meditate, but 98% of the people don't even know how to meditate. So this program, I'm going to kind of teach you how to meditate and how to really amplify the results, but literally speed up the game so that you don't have to wait 5 years of meditation, 10 minutes daily to see the results. You can see the difference in 3 weeks. Most people don't know how to meditate. They think they do, but technically learning to meditate is literally a skill set that you have to learn how to do it the right way. And it takes 10 days of doing meditation the right way every day for 5 years before you can really see the result. Now, does it not help in that 5-year time period? Of course it does. But to see the drastic shifts where you can see, wow, that light bulb moment happens. Yeah, there are studies that it takes 5 years to do that consistently, regularly, and improving upon your skill. But the way we women work, Tiffany, I think with the aspect of multitasking, the aspect of multiple responsibilities, the aspect of these inner desires and dreams that we have, and we are very creative in our dreams, you know that, right? So, we want to accomplish A, B, and C, but we also want to do X, Y, and Z at the same time. So how do you calm your mind to meditate? Well, there's a precursor and a totally different route, which is the path of least resistance. That's the path that I want to take you all so that it becomes easier. You can understand how to actually meditate and what tools, what methods can you embrace that will make the journey easier so that we can all create that sacred space inside. And I call that wisdom called your inner guide. So you have to literally awaken your inner guide to create abundance for yourself. So you have to be in control. You're not the dependent of the inner guide. You have to control the inner guide. And that's a very unique understanding of how do you do that. Now, there are a lot of affirmations out there. We understand the power of affirmations, but go back and reflect your last 5 years. Go back and reflect your last 3 years, or maybe 2019, or whatever year you want to look at. You probably had some goals. And if you didn't, you need to start having goals. Because if you had goals, you need to then should be able to measure your success. You should be able to say, how much did you accomplish? What percentage was it? Now, what are your objectives for this 90 days or this year? And how are you going to accomplish those? What's your ratio of success? And if you don't know how to calculate that, and if you do, great. But if you want to take it to additional 10, 20, 30% increase, this program is for those people. Well, I'm going to say this program, the 21-day Awaken Your Inner Abundance Journey, starts on new moon. I've always started a new program on a new moon, and there's a reason, because new moon is about resets, and full moon is like a pause to reflect on the previous journey and then to realign and visualize and dream and recreate the next phase. So we are powerful human beings, and we are affected by the cycles of moon. Even our inner cycles are affected by the moon cycles, right? So we need to empower that energy and use it to our advantage. So the next new moon is when we are launching and starting the next 21-day journey. So I highly encourage each and every one of you guys who are watching this video to take this journey and see how can you create your abundance and have clarity, have courage, and have more success around it. So it's my invitation, and I encourage everyone to take that one action to embark this journey with us and see what you all can create.